Once upon a time.
Once upon a time.
The Grimm brothers, Jacob and Wilhelm, are German scholars who orchestrated a collection of folklore. They were inspired by the Romantic time period with a major focus on nationalism. Their goal was to create an ideal German world in which everything would end happily ever after. With the loss of their father and grandfather, the boys were forced to become hardworking men in order to support their family and eventually picked up an interest in ancient folklore and the German language. The brothers specifically revised their stories to fit into the Romantic time era, German culture, society's norms of the time, and their own personal beliefs. Fairy tales. What do you think of when you hear those two words? Many people would say something along the lines of a Disney movie or a bedtime story. However, this isn't always the case. Fairy tales reflect culture and include universal morals, but in an alienated world. They often deal with one seeking higher socioeconomic power, symbolizing the material conditions, wishes, and relations in society, as well as the triumph of those characters who stray from society's negative beliefs and competitions, and who stay true to their own morals and values. The brothers set their tales in a darker world filled with violence and sex to uncover the negative truth of humans, which is usually hidden in those ideal stories we are familiar with. The brothers include different aspects of the Romantic period in their fairy tales. From religious Christian elements to the increasing amount of those living in poverty, these stories give the reader a more realistic view of Germany during this time. In Grimm's fairy tales, the protagonists are given positive features such as humbleness, although they may appear to be the least promising characters. In contrast, the antagonists often have no respect towards others and use their words and power to control and destroy others for their own personal benefit. Most often, it is the females who compete against each other for beauty and the ultimate prize, which is wealth and power. Back in this time, females were limited in what they could and could not do by what was considered to be socially acceptable. Their only way to power was by marriage. To be wed to the most powerful and/or richest man, beauty is key, and females would go to absolute extremes to ensure no one would stand in their way. This lust for power blocks out one's conscious mind, transforming these select women into power-hungry monsters. Although appearing to be helpless, the kind-hearted individuals have hope, unlike the greedy, self-centered protagonists. By learning lessons and sometimes with the help of magical creatures, these innocent characters will prevail in the end, while the others will suffer. The brothers hoped for a unified country, however this is not possible when the majority of society is in competition for power. Humanity is in a constant fight for dominance, and this causes us to forget about our morals and what is right and what is wrong. This quote, as said by Jimi Hendrix, alludes to the societal problems that took place during the Romantic era as well as in today's world. There is an established hierarchy where status is considered to be equivalent to power, thus explaining why humans attack others who have desirable traits in order to have control, displaying the jealousy and selfishness of human behavior. In fairy tales, remembering one's own values and having hope even in the darkest times will bring a character marriage, wealth, power, and last but not least, will end up living happily ever after.